Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is the Joysticks Canada Gamescast. It's episode 40, 40, if you can believe it. I
Wow.
can't.
Nice.
40, 40, 40.
It's a milestone. What have you got planned for us?
Oh, well, you know what, Michael? You know what is coming up in a very unofficial but official form is the E3 show, the Electronic Entertainment Expo? That's still what it stands for, right? It's kind of officially or unofficially kicked off, I'd say. Who?
I can't. I guess E3 is coming, but
Were you
who
doing
gives-
that deliberately?
Yeah.
I thought we were audio cutting.
I can't remember what Keeley's thing is called. It's called Summer of Games.
Summer Game Fest?
Fest? Yeah, something about
Yeah,
Summer
Jeff
in
Keighley.
Games, right? I'm kind of looking more forward to that than anything E3's got cooking.
Yeah, like when it comes to purely watching something online, the Game Awards are fucking awesome in my opinion. I really like them.
But
like-
he's been doing. Last year he did
And-
those.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, his like production values or whatever you want to call it, like his
Yeah.
the shit that he puts together is always really good. So I'm pretty stoked for that. And it's funny because all the big publishers like Nintendo and Microsoft and all them, they're all doing their own thing online, and Keeley's like tapping into that, kind of almost
Yeah.
like claiming that it's his thing that he's doing. Like, no, it's not you. It's it's Microsoft's doing their own thing, and you're just happening to cover it. It's not. So, anyways, yeah, there seems to be. It's just a weird way of handling it this year, but whatever. I don't care. It's exciting already because there's like Far Cry 6 was today,
Mhm.
which
Did you guys watch that?
fucking awesome.
It looks really fun.
Oh my god.
Really good, man.
Looks
really
like
good.
a dumb video game about blowing stuff up.
So you're
That's
obviously
okay.
bored.
Nope.
It's the
that's
best
good.
kind,
Yeah,
man.
it's great.
Best
I'm very
kind.
happy about that.
But there's a gun that shoots Macarena CDs.
I saw that.
I think it just plays the Macarena. I think it just shoots CDs. because
CDRs. It's
he jams a
CDRs.
cartridge.
CDRs.
He
They're
jams
not
a
just.
cartridge with CDs in it. I mean, that is hilarious. I love it.
It's great. It's amazing.
I
Why
lo-
can't
I
they
love
all
the-
be
the
Macarena
rock-
CDs?
I love the Rocket Pack backpack.
Oh my
That's
god!
what-
When
So
she
fun.
that was totally out of GI Joe. The I can't even remember the hell. I can't even remember what his name was now. He was one of the Cobra guys, and he was like one of my favorite guys. And he had the backpack thing shooting over. I was like, oh my god, it's amazing.
You mean Boba Fett?
No, not Boba. Well, yeah, you know what? Boba Fett did have one, but he only had one.
Actually,
He had
it's
one, and then that
funny
was
that
it.
You talk about GI Joe because there's a new GI Joe movie coming out called Snake. Well, it's the origin story of Snake Eyes. Should be awesome
Cool.
to watch.
When's the
There's
Cobra
always-
Commander one coming out? Because that's the one that I want to watch.
It looks.
Is it
I don't know.
another live action one, or is it finally like a cartoon one?
No, live action.
Did you know that you're streaming right now, John? Just so you know.
Yeah, I don't
Yep.
know why your stream's
Okay.
in the stream.
Oh.
That's kind of weird.
Broadcasting the.
Yeah, you're broadcasting your stream in Twitch.
Yeah,
Kind of weird.
not in Twitch. It's in Discord. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, and then Horizon Forbidden West was what? That was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yep.
And that looked ridiculously good.
It's gonna
I'll
be
buy
so
a PS5
fun.
for that.
It looked like phenomenal, but I don't know if it was just me, but I was like kind of put off by it was definitely 30 frames per second, and it would just seem.
Oh yeah.
I was just kind of put off by that. It was just, it looks, okay, so it looks incredible. Everything about it looked just phenomenal, but it was like, it just didn't seem super fluid, because I think I've just been spoiled with like every game over the last year or two being 60 frames per second or better. And
Yeah,
this,
we're getting
this,
games
this
that are
just
being
was
ported
not.
that are now 60.
Yeah,
Like
old
like
ass
Last of Us
games
2.
that are 60 and brand new games that are 60. I'm like,
that's
that
like
that
the
wasn't
target.
60, that was 30 for sure. I'm like, oof.
But I'm going to argue that the fidelity of the environment that it was drawing
It-
into
Yeah.
would arguably, like, so to me, a game like that will probably have a graphics option come to it.
Yeah.
That'll be like,
Yeah, you're right.
how do
You're
you
right.
want to play? Performance, optimized, quality, like, how do you want to kind of interact with that, right? You give the customer the ability to say, all right, like I want to play this game at 60 frames a second. All right, fine. I'm going to play optimized, and I'll trade off some of the deep shadowing. I'll trade off maybe some of the
Draw
HDR.
distance or
maybe I'll trade off.
something or whatever. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
Is there
started
ray
doing that.
tracing in
You
this
started
game?
doing that with with Cyberpunk, right? Releasing here's if you want that high level fidelity in your video experience, great. If you want performance, you can go this route too. But
Okay, guys, if it doesn't have ray tracing, what is the reason why it can't hit 60 frames per second?
PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
Oh.
I do think
Oh,
Richard's
well,
right because
they could've
it's
shown
coming
the
out on
footage from the
PS4.
PlayStation 5. Like,
But they have to develop it for something, right? So
Yeah.
you're right. Typically, they would develop it for the higher end system and then port it down. But
So,
but-
hear me out on this one. And I think it's a mistake that they are catering it to the PS4. Because if you look at their sales over the past year or whenever it was that they announced the PS5, like they have not been able to keep stock of anything.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you purposefully sell this game targeting the PS5, knowing that initially you're only going to get people that actually want the game and have a PS5? Because quite honestly, you're going to have more people that are going to be able to get the game than a PS5.
the install base on PS4 is like
Yeah,
too
I know.
big to ignore. You
And-
can't.
and the game was originally slated for PS4. The original. It was funny. I was
Yeah,
listening
Switch.
to.
Really?
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast this earlier today, and they were saying like it's crazy because Horizon Zero Dawn came out almost the same day that Breath of the Wild came out.
Yeah.
And that was obviously the original Switch, like the Switch, and then Horizon Zero Dawn was the PS4. And
It was
then,
Wii
like-
U. Breath of the Wild was Wii U.
Well, and Switch. It's like the same.
oh yeah, you dropped Breath
Same
of the
day.
Wild
No,
for Horizon,
Breath of the
right,
Wild
Dan?
on Switch came out later that year when the Switch released. But when Breath of the Wild came out, Wii U was the only Nintendo platform.
Are you thinking Skyward Sword or Breath of the Wild? Breath of the Wild, really?
Breath of the Wild came out for Wii U as well.
Yeah, I know that,
As
but was
well,
it the
came
same
out
day?
first.
Oh, okay. Anyways, it was
Yeah,
So
first.
maybe it was that.
But the Switch didn't exist until later
Yeah.
that year.
But it was just interesting because like they were saying like there's a slight chance, obviously slight, but of Breath of the Wild 2 coming out this year with Horizon Forbidden West, which is like
Oh, really?
the exact same time period between both games, but it's like it's still the fucking Switch. Like they haven't come out with a new system. It's still the original hardware, whereas PS4 has had like the PS4, the PS4 Pro, the PS5 in that same time span, and it's still the Switch.
But
It's
they
like-
haven't but they haven't announced a release date, and that's the part that kind of bothers me. So all it tells me is that they're still working on optimizing the game, whether it's for the PS5 more specifically, or they're trying to negotiate a window of release so that it doesn't interfere with other platform releases. So, like
Yeah.
the potential of Breath of the Wild 2, right?
If they do come out at the same time, for Horizon, I'm gonna have to say it's a no for me, dog, because I'm all in on fucking Zelda.
Big fat no
I-
for me.
I know
I can't
Dan's
wait
gonna
for
go
the new
Horizon
Zelda.
because he dropped Breath of the Wild for Horizon for the first
Have
round
you
one.
finished
hell
the
yeah.
first one yet?
What?
Dan, have you even finished the first one?
The first what?
Right.
Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah! It was like one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah, you're the one that lent it to me or something, right, Dan? You were like, you
yeah.
have to play this game. I think you had a gun to my head, and you're like, if you don't play this game,
Richard's
I'm gonna kill
ducking
you
because
and
he's
your
a
entire family.
Oh, Richard's.
I still have to finish it.
Ah, you're all
It's
terrible
not the-
people.
pretty much
Game I've
started.
ever platinumed. I've never platinumed any game ever. That was the only one.
Wow.
I think we've had this discussion before, Nick. But I tried. I was on my way to. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna platinum this. This is happening. And then I got to those fucking hunting missions, and I was like, nope,
Oh, those-
not happening. Like, not happening. So I just like, amazing game, phenomenal game. I'm stepping away from it. I'm like, nope.
Funny
Can't
enough,
do
that
it.
was the one thing. That was the one thing I was able to do right away. I got really
So
good those
hard.
time trials.
So hard.
The one thing that hurt me was trying to find those practice dummies. That was the only thing
the
I
deers,
couldn't.
right?
Yeah,
the
I couldn't
deer,
figure out.
deers?
Like I was missing one, and so I had to start at the beginning of the game and literally go through every area and
Yep,
like
yep.
hunt them down. Yeah.
We should acknowledge our special guest. I think it's a first time for joysticks.
Oh my
The
goodness.
first time in a long time.
We got
Stats for Life.
Stats for Life has joined
That's for life.
from his compound on Cobra Crescent. From his compound on Cobra Crescent.
Okay, easy now.
We just
He lives on fucking Cobra Crescent. How amazing is that?
So he's a super villain.
Hey, super villainous.
Basically.
We were talking about G.I. Joe earlier, Santino. That's why we're
Gotcha.
in the,
So not
in the
Cobra,
mood.
La La
We're all
La
sassy.
Crescent, Cobra Crescent.
not
No,
Hydra.
podcast.
Not Hydra. Oh yeah, we're live coming at you live and direct on twitch.tv/joysticks Canada. If you have your Amazon Prime sub, please smash that like button.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll be doing that.
Santino's like, I'm out of here, you fucking losers.
We were talking. I think you
I was
got it.
just,
We're
I
talking
was
about
just checking
Horizon.
in. I don't want to. I won't crash your podcast. I'll leave.
Are you kidding?
You can hang out. I don't give a shit.
I think
don't
you should
anyone-
stick around, man.
We're chatting. We're chatting.
Is that why you're here?
He doesn't like the Leafs. He's a fucking Hawks fan. How do you not know that? He's probably wearing a Hawks jersey right now.
Right this second. Or one of his 50
And nothing
Hawks
but.
hats.
And nothing but. No, we're chatting E3 predictions. That's what I wanted to chat about.
Cool.
E3 Productions.
I think. What do you mean? It's like the most. It's like Christmas time for video games. Come on.
It's true. It's true.
Like a Switch
When does
Pro.
it start?
Switch Pro. Just to butt right into what Richard just said. I'm just gonna
Thanks.
throw Switch Pro out there. So E3 like traditionally was like the second week of June usually, right?
Okay.
And it lasted for 3 to 5 days, blah blah blah. But now, since of this wonderful COVID thing has ruined the entire planet, they've kind of like last year. It was almost like a month. It seemed like every 2 or 3 days there was just constant stuff being peppered in. And I think that's kind of what's happening this year with like Horizon, with Far Cry 6, with like. So that's this week, and then next week there's gonna be more new stuff just kind of peppered in. So,
Wait, were these two things part of E3?
well, like it's that season of the year, if you know what I mean. It's like here's some new footage. Like
Tis the
obviously,
season to be merry.
Tis the season. Yeah, it's my name.
Jesus.
The
No shit.
can't see the line, can you, Russ? So Microsoft's gonna have their thing with Bethesda on whatever the hell date, June 12th, I think it is.
Okay.
And then Ubisoft has their thing, which is coming up soon as well.
Yeah.
Sony's gonna have their thing, which is like a state of play that's not just for a game. And then Nintendo's obviously gonna have a direct probably near the end of E3 season.
Okay.
Yeah, I just remember last year it was kind of like a ton of just new footage and new information just started spilling out of everywhere for what seemed like almost a month, and it was around this time. So it's like, no, it's not E3 stuff right now, because E3 as a organization or an event doesn't really exist all that much anymore.
Right.
It's just, yeah.
Okay. Skull and Bones
Ooh.
from or whatever it's called now, Gods and Monsters.
No,
still called
Skull and Bones, yeah. Gods and Monsters got renamed to Immortal
Oh,
Phoenix Rising.
Right. Okay.
But
so it is
Skull and
called-
Bones is still
Yeah.
delayed as shit, and it's still
Yeah.
coming out apparently, but it's just delayed again.
I think
and
we're
again
gonna
and
see
again.
it this year. We're gonna finally
Is that-
see it.
Is that the Ubisoft pirate game?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the one
it
that
looks
they
awesome.
Announced like the year or two after Black Flag, and I was just like, more back. Just give me the Black
Way-
Flag part of Black Flag, and I will play the hell out of that game. And then and then it went to shit, and we never saw it again.
I think it got announced. I swear to God, the same time Sea of Thieves got announced,
Yes, I think
Yeah.
you're right.
which
Actually,
is
it's like two
which
pirate
is
games
sad
in
because Sea of Thieves has been out for I think 3 years now, and Skull and Bones is still not out. I'm like, holy shit, man, this is ridiculous.
and
but-
that's for
And they've
Ubisoft, right? Where they just throw all the studios at stuff. Like for them not to put a game out is pretty.
That's
impressive.
obviously been shelved or something just temporarily for probably a year or two minimum, right?
And talking about Sea of Thieves, I tried to log into it the other day to play with Hayden, and we couldn't figure out how to make it work. Like it was just horrific. And I started the game, like it resurrected my old account, and it was just like all over the place. Like it didn't know what to do with the fact that I hadn't logged in like 4 years or 3 years or however long. And so I had to do the demo again. We couldn't figure out like how to put ourselves in the same area. Like nothing worked. It was like Outriders. I was just like, all right, well, this is fun, great.
Yeah,
Delete.
we did. I remember us. I can't remember who it was that was involved. I know Mike and Santino were there, and Richard, and me.
Yeah, we tried to sink the
Was it
boat.
4 of us? Yeah, and we were
Yeah.
It was just a clusterfuck. It was like I don't even know what's happening.
I mean, once
And
we
like
got
we were on a
and it
boat
was
out in the
fine.
sea, and then I just remember Santino joining the game, and he's like, "Hey guys!" And I see him like swimming out to the boat in the middle of the ocean. I'm like, "How the fuck did you get out here?" And he just like warped out of nowhere. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I don't know. That game still has some of the best water physics I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life. It's
Oh, it's really good.
phenomenal.
And
But
the
as a
weather-
game, I'm like, eh.
It's just a little shallow. There's just not a lot to
There's
do.
nothing to do, but I don't get it. How the fuck there's so many people that are like obsessed with the game? It's doing extremely well. I'm like, how? Who's playing it? I don't know
I think
anyone
it's
that
the
plays
vibe,
it.
man. I think it's the feel and the vibe, and they just like hanging out with their friends doing.
Game
I get it.
Pirate
I
shit.
get it. I get it.
No different
Yeah.
from Fortnite or any of those
Well,
other
kids,
games.
yeah, kids play Fortnite to hang out with their friends. They don't even play it to do anything. They just go in there
I
to
could
like
see Sea
play
of
with their
Thieves
buddies.
being similar to that.
Mhm.
It's pretty fun when you know the person or the people that you're playing with.
That's
your
true. That's
crewmates.
true.
So
And if you don't-
I've got a one more prediction. then I'll
Ooh,
let you guys-
a hot
right?
take, a hot prediction.
Yeah.
Hot off the press.
Grand Theft Auto.
5.
No.
5.
Five. For PS5.
For
Xbox Series X.
PS5.
You bastards! You knew what I was going to say.
You can't go so slow. You can't go so slow.
I think Metroid Prime trilogy is gonna finally be fucking announced.
Yeah, you know what? I think trilogy for sure. Metroid Prime 4, they're not showing anything for
it's-
that.
They rebooted
That's
that.
fucking
Like they had to
vaporware, God.
restart from scratch.
Yeah,
That's
that game's
fucked for a
vaporware,
while.
man. Yeah,
Well, they
trilogy
need
for sure.
Something with that franchise because it's been sitting on the shelf for a while now.
It's one of the best franchises of all time, in my opinion, too.
They have a
Yeah.
whole
Honestly,
genre
they just
named.
need
There's a whole goddamn genre named after the fucking game. I'm like, come on,
They just need
release
to
it
do
already.
Metroid, a brand new just Metroid.
Are you thinking?
Remake
Are you
the
thinking like 2D, like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night kind of thing?
Oh, that would
Oh,
be
yeah.
awesome.
Like a
I know.
like a really high res, super
In the
like
vein-
Ori,
in the
like
vein of,
Ori.
Ori?
Yeah.
They announced
Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh,
god!
that'd be incredible.
Can you
That would be
imagine?
bad.
Nintendo wouldn't do that.
Fascinating.
Nintendo won't do that.
Bloodstained 2.
Yeah, because that's what we want Nintendo to do. They don't do what we want them to do.
They do it well. To their credit, they do what we don't want them to do, but then it turns out to be pretty decent, anyways.
They're like, no, you'll like it. Trust us.
And then
we're
you
like,
play it, you're like, "Fuck, it's
Oh,
pretty
God.
good." Whatever. Shut up.
I'm sorry. Have you played Pac-Man 99?
No.
Tetris 99?
Tetris
Battle
99.
Royale
Tetris 99 is amazing.
Yeah. These are things you didn't think you wanted until you got to play them, and then
I still haven't played Mario 35.
I can play
Is
that
that what
one.
it
Well,
is?
you can't now.
Oh,
I think it's
fucking
done.
Christ.
They
Yeah,
killed
it is
Mario,
done.
remember?
What the?
Yeah.
Fucking
At
Nintendo.
the end of March, right?
Bunch of jerks.
It's been dead for a while.
But yeah, so Switch Pro, the rumors are just swirling that is going to be announced within the next week or two.
So not
Okay.
exciting.
Aside from
No,
their handhelds, which I guess granted, like Switch is a handheld, but
Yeah.
what other console have they done like an iterative version of? Have they ever done it?
All
for-
of them?
Lots.
Yeah, almost all
What
of
do you
them.
mean?
Oh, you mean besides handheld?
Besides handhelds.
Oh, I'm
right?
sorry,
You
sorry,
put-
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
you
sorry,
put aside the 3DS, like okay, all the 3DS stuff, all the Game Boy Advance, yada yada.
Would you
You
call
put
the
aside all the
Wii U
handheld
an
stuff.
iteration over the Wii?
Well, not
The
according
Wii
to
U, I mean,
Nintendo. It's a
it
different
was a
system.
naming dumbness, but I don't think it was an iteration. Was
No,
it?
that was probably the worst named console of all
Yeah,
time.
it's just a dumb name.
It was
but
a brand
had
new,
really
completely
different-
separate console, and it just had the worst name.
It had
Oh
back compat, which
my.
is pretty
It
cool.
did. Yeah, it's true. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know if I see them doing a Switch Pro. Like they can't keep the bloody thing in stock either. It's still
I know,
very
it's
hard to
insane.
find. Like, why would they?
Oh,
what's
also, the rumors are that it can't even do 4K native. It's just like an upscaled 4K. So who gives a shit? Like, I can play Switch on my 4K TV. I'm upscaling it with my fucking TV. Like, who gives a fuck
If
if it's not native?
the only reason I can see Nintendo making a new system is if they found like cost-cutting measures for it. So like if they like had new chipsets or like new hardware that they just haven't been using,
Something like that. Yeah.
I'm
so
sorry,
they
have
could
you been
lower the
paying
price.
attention to the marketplace and the silicon shortage.
Well,
and the
that's
chips?
where I'm getting at. That's where I'm getting at. It's like they're still making Switches now, right? Like if they
Yeah.
if they change the bits that are in the machine, because Nintendo's always been that company that like they make money on every console they sell. They've always been like that, right? They never lose any money. So it's like the Switch has been out for 4 years now. Like there must be better ways of putting the system together. Like maybe OLED screens are cheaper than what they're using now, or whatever.
I don't
Eventually,
know.
that stuff comes down in price. Eventually, but
It'll be an
first-
iterative upgrade. It won't be like I think to Richard's point, I don't think it's gonna be like the Switch
This
Pro or
year.
the Switch Super Switch or whatever the fuck they call it. It's not gonna be that. It's just gonna be a new version of the Switch with like a screen that's like half an inch bigger with like an hour better battery life, but it costs Nintendo $80 less to make or something. You know what I mean?
there
A
wasn't a
little bit
huge.
better internal memory.
Yeah,
So there wasn't a
maybe
huge
yeah.
jump between the Game Boy
Sweetie?
3D and then the Game Boy 3DS. There wasn't like a huge jump between the two of those systems, right? Like
Well, it is 10 o'clock.
Mom's letting me go to bed at 10.
it was better processing speed and a little bit better on like the visuals, but that's about it.
Are you thinking of the 3DS
Oh,
versus the new
Oh,
3DS?
jeez, man. Broke my hand.
with the eye tracking thing.
Love you, sweetie. We're
Yeah.
gonna have a fun day tomorrow, okay?
I mean that's like the definition of an iteration. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
dude. Then they did the new
Make
3DS
sure we have a
XL.
fun day tomorrow.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then before that, it was the DS Lite.
Streaming live on Twitch.
Yeah, they iterate the shit out of their handheld consoles, and honestly, Switch fits into that.
6 viewers.
They don't have
And
a handheld
it's
other
not
than
even-
Switch.
It's
so-
not even about hardware iteration too. It's about all of their
Alright.
brand iterations on top of
It
all
is
of that
muted.
as well, right? Building in all of the collector's editions for all the different Pikachu versions, and think of all
Yeah,
of
and
the other
Hola,
special
¿cómo
releases they've
estás?
got, right? But they don't have to do hardware iteration. They just have to like reprint out a shell and like Dragon Quest limited edition, prismatic cover. Like shit will fly off the shelves.
I'll snap it up if it's got
I'm
Dragon
sorry,
Quest
did you say
something on it.
prismatic? What was that?
What was that noise?
The children are awake.
Is that Isla?
They've risen out of nowhere.
Play Mike's shit hitting the floor. Dan?
No, close the door. Go, no, go.
Is it that time for the new segment?
God, go.
It might be,
That brand new time for that brand new segment.
unless people have more predictions.
Be a good transition.
I actually have no clue what to like. There's a bunch that I have, but they're all pretty much obvious. It's like Halo Infinite's gonna be shown.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a new Forza, but I have no idea what kind of Forza.
Skate 4. Maybe we'll finally get to see some.
Ooh, Skate 4 is actually yes. Thank you for. Oh my god.
I'd like to.
That'd be
see some
amazing.
Skate 4.
Yes.
Fuck.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yes,
Right, like-
please. That'd be so
They
good.
talked about it, but I want to see it. I want to make sure.
Yeah, that
they're
kind of
not
just
lying.
disappeared, eh? It was like we're making a new
Well-
Skate 4, and then like nothing for
Yeah.
months. I'm like, okay,
Well, it was the teaser.
Ooh.
Was it last year or the
So-
year before? It was last year, right?
dude, it wasn't even a teaser. It was just them saying that they were going to think about making one. I'm like,
No.
Oh.
They did a.
So non-committal.
What, like
I'm
footage?
99% sure they did it. No, not a footage. It was
Yeah.
just a teaser of like the the wheels on the pavement thing. That was it. And then the logo Skate 4.
Yeah.
I can go dig it up, but I'm pretty sure they did at least that.
Yeah.
So, since we were on that topic of Nintendo and talking about some predictions for games for E3, Bayonetta 3, they've talked about it. They showed like a
That's
little
still
bit
not
about it.
out. I'm like so out of the loop with Bayonetta. I like the series, but I'm not a diehard. But like, I thought that game was out.
No, not yet.
Dear
Not yet.
God.
Two came out. Right?
But that was teased like.
Yeah, two was on Nintendo. It was on Wii U, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yes. And 1 and 2 got re-released on Switch, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Yeah, and I think 2 came out on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
I should play 2 if it's on PC.
They're good games,
I've
man. They're
only
good.
played the
They're
first
I didn't play 2.
very,
I
very
finished
Devil May
1.
Cry-ish, but like even more
into it.
insane.
It's,
Yeah,
well,
they're not for me. I get why people like them for sure. They're very cool games, but I'm just not into them.
It was
Oh,
one
it
of
is
the
out for
first.
PC. Lovely. I guess I'll have to play that.
It was one of the at the time.
Oh.
Some buddies and I
No,
had
it's
a video game site, and we were like, we thought we had to like play and beat video games in order to do it. So he was one of my other buddies was playing like Yakuza 2 or 4 or whatever the fuck it was at that time, and
Jeez.
like, oh, I'm gonna do Bayonetta, and I played Bayonetta, and then the next one I picked was Wet, which I also played and beat, and I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore because sometimes games suck, and I don't want to be stuck or beholden to playing video games. I don't want like that fucking final fight in Bayonetta took me forever. The
The
final
funny
boss.
thing about
where you're-
Bayonetta was an interesting fighting mechanic. Like I
like
would,
the
if
giant,
somebody
right?
was-
You're running up the tail. Yeah.
Wow.
That was a fun fight.
It was horrible. I hated it. Fucking hated it.
That
It's
reminds. It's
almost as
Psychonauts.
crazy
It's the
as the
Psychonauts final
serpent
boss.
fight. There's like the Leviathan fight that you have in Final Fantasy 15, and it's like you have to do your sword dash over to the thing, and then sword dash back, and then sword dash over here. And it's like that was a pain in the ass.
You beat Final Fantasy 15, John?
No, I haven't beat it yet. No, but I've played through like 80%.
That game, that fucking battle mechanic was really fucking hard to learn.
Yeah.
Like, I
That was-
played every Final Fantasy that's ever been made, and that was, like, fucking difficult.
Mm.
I had
Well,
to game it. I had to game the game. I had to figure out, okay, how do you fucking cheese everything? Okay, I'm going to do that. Great.
Yeah, I'll do whatever that is.
It was
And it
tough.
was very quick, crazy button mashing, I remember. Like, it was nuts.
Yeah, well, that sea serpent fight is it? I think they call it Leviathan. That's where the one where I was like going back and forth like crazy, and it was a hard mechanic, much easier than the Bayonetta fight was much easier than that.
I wouldn't
At
wish
least my
that fight on
opinion.
my worst enemy.
Wow, sounds like a good fight.
I really didn't like it. That's not clear.
Hey guys, guess what?
What's up?
It's time for a new segment.
Oh,
You know what that segment's
Ooh.
called? Because I've already forgotten.
Richard's
What the hell?
Toilet
what the hell do we
time?
call it again?
game of the week or something?
I had to
Richard's
scream it.
mobile toilet
remember what it
time
was.
game of the week.
Mobile toilet time game of the week. Yeah, there
Mobile
you go.
toilet time game of the week.
And insert the music right here because I don't have it local. I'm gonna do that later in post.
Do it in post.
All right, Richard, what do we got? What do we got?
Hi guys. So what we've got is a game called Summoners Wars Lost Centuria, which
Lord.
is a turn-based game where you're playing like you're like a wizard or whatever, using your set of 8 monsters to battle another person's set of 8 monsters. Pretty much every battle, I think there is a single player mode. There's been like some like challenge modes or whatever, but the majority of the game is all real time play. Each game takes like a minute to a minute and a half to play, which if you take that perfect poop could just slide right in there.
Nice.
They
Crazy.
launched.
Jesus.
I know, right?
The perfect one, just
The perfect poop.
like
minute and
a
half.
ghost poop.
And if you got a really long poop, you can get 2 matches in. So the no shit, get it? Yeah. The other really nice thing is like some free-to-play games. Obviously, this is free-to-play because it's mobile. Some free-to-play games are pretty stingy with the shit that they give you.
Yeah.
This one
is it
launched.
paper thin?
And its offering is paper thin.
One ply?
It's not one.
Not two.
This is like the 3-ply royale of
Yeah, what are the
mobile.
microtransactions like? 1 ply, 2 ply,
No,
or
they
3 ply?
so they have a lot of microtransactions. Don't get me wrong, but they're also very generous with
So
with
it's like
freebies.
the toilet valet
Okay.
that's able to give you and say, "Here, have this very fantastic cologne, sir."
Yeah,
I can
sure.
I can spare a square.
It does feel like the dude that stands in the bathroom while you're peeing, and you know you have to like interact with them afterward
The
because
toilet
they're
guy,
just
yeah.
there. They're like, we're gonna offer you a pack. Like I unlocked a new legendary hero today, and as soon as you unlock it, they're like, oh, you got this $70 pack. You want to get this thing and get you another card. You can level them up right away. You get all this other stuff you can get for it. It's like, all right, guys,
Like, chill, relax.
here's your dollar
Yeah,
tip.
yeah,
and,
yeah,
like,
here's your
you
99
get a
cents.
comb, and we're gonna go. Okay. So yeah, there's a little bit of that sort of stuff, but like I was saying, they're very generous with the freebies. So like tons of the premium currency, tons of the pack opening item, the
Sure.
summoning item.
Yeah.
So like I haven't spent anything on it. I'd say I took a break from it for about 2 weeks, just logging in daily just to grab free stuff. My hoard of accumulated shit at this point today when I finally played a game was incredible
Yeah.
just from grabbing all the free stuff that they've been giving out. So yeah,
Treasure
it's a
trove.
really nice, and there's nothing like I'm not getting left behind or anything. There's a guild system, but there's no raids or guild battles or anything. Like I'm not letting anybody down by not logging in. So it's just a really nice casual turn-based strategy game.
So you're glad you took the plunge into that game.
You were just fucking sitting there. I saw Mike's face, and he was just like,
That was a good one.
I would never call my shits casual, so I don't know if this is quite the game I'd want to play while.
What are they?
taking
What are your shits?
monstrously
Arduous?
violent shits that-
Monstrously violent.
So
It's
it
an
is a
arduous
like,
task.
There's basically like a mana bar that fills up, and this is you can manipulate it a little bit here and there. You can manipulate your opponent's mana bar, but that's the energy that you spend. Each monster or each whatever character that you have at your disposal only has one move.
Drinking
But
beer.
when their card comes up, you have enough
Loading
thing to
up.
spend. Like you press the button. So, but there's like a counterattack attack type system happening too. So Nick,
This
if you've
takes
got these
time.
really violent poops, then and
I'll
you
tell
like
you- hold on.
and you
I'll
accidentally
tell you now,
spasm
my
into
mana
a
bar-
button.
My mana bar is always at 0 during these monsters' poops.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So
I
like,
He's
He's
sweating.
all
He's
in.
sweating. He needs like.
I expend all energy.
Full
There are
energy.
no
Yeah,
moves
there you go.
left.
But all joking aside, this game it actually looks like artwork style. It looks pretty nice.
yeah, it's very smooth to play and run. They had some hiccups at launch with lag or whatever, which again for a timing-based game was kind of a bummer. But they fixed it, within a couple days or whatever. So they're actively promoting it and everything. They've got an active community around it. It's good.
Not bad.
Honestly, between Reddit and catching up on work, I mean, I do more work sitting on the can than not. So, I mean, it's
You're supposed to take a break. That's the whole point. What do you
More
think happened
satisfying.
like
It's called a restroom, for fuck's sake.
30 years ago? Yeah, they didn't bring their keyboard into you couldn't even bring your computer anywhere 30 years ago.
my work key,
Yeah.
my more
You're
work
looking
phone
like a weirdo.
doubles
If you're like a
as
laptop in a can.
They're like, "You're doing what? No. You're gonna like fry something down there if you bring that in with you."
Who got poop on the punch card?
Oh my god! Poop on the punch card. That sounds like a band or something. Yeah, that's my next band. Poop on the punch card. Hey,
Actually, the punch
boys.
cards would be a cool band name.
The punch card. Shit, that's a great. Oh,
Fuck yeah.
god damn it! Fuck yeah.
Probably exists.
So hey, Richard,
Oh,
would you let's do a little bit of video game 20 questions. I think you wanted to host this week, did you not?
I did, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
giggity,
I got
giggity, giggity.
Just put it up here so I'm gonna make
It's
sure. I'm
fun
not
being
talking
on
out my ass.
the receiving end of this. Nick knows all about being on the receiving end. It's like, you're goddamn right I do. You're goddamn right.
Yeah, I'll do 2 gas.
Right.
Instead of doing a slow, I'll do a slow expand instead of a fast expand.
I'm
John,
ready.
what the fuck are you talking about?
Sorry, I'm playing StarCraft 2 alongside
Jesus
all this.
Christ.
You're playing a video game while you go?
It's very disrespectful.
That is a little.
We're
No
on a video
respect.
game podcast talking about video games. You might as well have one playing, right? Right.
It's
You're
low
not wrong.
key ADD, man.
Yep. Yep.
I hate the word low key, by the way.
All right, Crystalia.
I know. You watched the latest one.
I low-key stabbed him. It's like, what?
Fuck, man.
You can't low-key stab someone.
It's low key toxic. Okay.
Like, what? No.
Look at how cloudy this is. Look. Light cannot penetrate this double IPA.
Your
Therefore,
video
it
is
delicious.
off.
It'll
by the
be
way.
very delicious.
You know what this
I cannot
is?
see.
Somewhere over
Oh,
the
yeah, nice.
rainbow.
Oh, my mom would love that. Fuck, she's a Wizard of Oz head. Old school Oz head.
Wow, this is a very
there you go.
crazy beer.
Is it good? Have you sipped it?
Not yet. I'm gonna let it sit for just a second.
Oh,
Look at this
jeez,
guy.
the
This
fucking
guy's
anticipation.
this
is
guy's
killing me.
high as fuck. Look at that guy, Santino. What do you think?
Holy shit! See that? If you're wondering what
It's
Santino
like
looks
fucking right. Look at that guy. Fuck yeah, bro.
That's Santino right there.
Fucking right, bro.
you don't need a cam. Let's just paste that over top.
Oh, that's a good idea, Mike. 1 second.
Dude, you can't do that. Do you have time to do that?
Well,
What about our viewers?
Richard's taking a minute.
I'm ready. Like, hit
What about
me.
our no
Was
viewers?
this live? Like, are we streaming?
Yes,
we're
we're.
streaming.
This is. There are really people, probably not listening to this right now. So let's
Probably not really listening.
ask
Hey,
a question.
Toileted, can you type in the chat, Toileted? We want to know where you're from. Gamer
What?
Carry as well. You
somebody
are a
actually
real
listening?
person? Academy Impossible. Talk to us in the chat, please.
It can't be
How
possible.
can you see who is listening?
You just click on the little people on the stream chat. Users in chat.
What are we streaming on?
Oh yeah, look at that.
Twitch.
Twitch.
Look at that.
Okay.
We should start streaming in a hot tub or something.
Yeah, that's what
I gotta say, the fact that Toileted showed up is very fucking, like, apropos.
Very apropos.
It's
I don't-
kismet.
Oh. I'm missing my overlords.
Okay, hit me with a question. We're playing video games. 20 questions.
Why is
Jesus
he
Christ,
on
all
the
right.
screen?
Was this game made before 2000?
Oh, we're starting.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Was this game made before 2000? There, Rich.
Yes.
Before 2000. All right.
Old school.
Ooh, this is like usually not a part of your wheelhouse, but hey, you know.
Was this game before 1990?
No.
Alright.
There you go.
Got it right down
Um,
the decade. Yes.
Was this a Western developed title?
Nicely
No.
phrased.
Dude, at that point, it's like everything was Japanese.
Incorrect.
Well, most stuff was. It was all Nintendo and Sega.
Splinter Cell.
Sega.
Fuck. Was this was this a cartridge-based game?
Ooh, that's a good question, dude.
Got him
No.
thinking.
No.
No, you can't
I'm
say
waiting for the
no
vibes.
with a
Wait,
question
wait,
mark at
vibes.
the end. That was a question mark at the end of that no. You can't do that.
No, it wasn't available on a cartridge.
It wasn't okay. Wait. It wasn't?
Oh, he knows what we mean.
Or it isn't? It has never been on it's never been on a
Dan,
cartridge ever.
He
Okay.
doesn't mean that. It didn't come out on a fucking cartridge.
All right,
That's what
relax,
matters.
relax.
You know what fucked us last time is that fucking mobile bullshit. That fucking handheld crap. Like, so,
We wasted a lot of time on that one.
yeah, don't dig a hole for us, bro.
Bruh.
Oh, bruh.
All right, so between 2000 and 90, sorry, 1990 and 2000. What consoles
There's
were
a
those?
shitload of
Sony-
systems in that fucking era. There's way too many.
yeah, okay. So was this game after 1995?
Yes.
Oh, good question actually.
So
Because
Super
that's
Nintendo, Genesis,
wow.
Yes.
Super Nintendo's
Yes.
kind
PlayStation
of.
1.
That's N64. That's Dreamcast. That's PlayStation 1.
Hold on, but
That's
not
Saturn.
no,
There's so many systems.
no, 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 no.
Wait,
It's
when
not.
did
It's not
N64 come
cartridge
out?
based. Not cartridge based.
Sorry. You're right.
Oh, I'm
It's
listening.
not Super Nintendo either.
So it could be
it's
Sega Saturn.
Probably PlayStation 1
It's
It could
gotta
be
be
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast,
PlayStation 1.
or
PS1.
PS2.
No, PS2 was 2001.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Xbox was 2002, I think. With the
Sega
GameCube.
Saturn was all CD, right?
Yeah, it was all CD.
Oh, PlayStation 2 is 2000.
Was this on a Sony platform, Richard?
Yes.
What the fuck
Hold on.
was that?
What
What
was,
was
it
that?
on the Sony platform? No, that, but that,
It's
that
PlayStation
doesn't
1.
really answer the
It's only
question.
PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1's the only system
PlayStation
out.
1, Nick.
Okay, well, fine, sure.
No, that's
Could you have like any cross platforms or cross games between Sony and N64? I don't think so.
Dreamcast?
Dreamcast,
Like a cross-platform?
not cross platform,
Like
but
Street Fighter Alpha or some shit like that.
yeah, something stupid like that.
Can you shoot things in this game,
Richard,
Richard?
was this a first party produced game?
Oh, we just asked two questions at the same time.
Ah,
Let's do next question.
First party published, you mean?
yes.
Yes.
So it was published by Sony.
Yeah, but don't get trapped. Remember that rare question that we got locked into last time?
No, that was Nintendo.
Rich, can you shoot
Yeah,
things
well.
in this game?
Yeah.
No shooting.
It's the first party
No,
published Sony game on PlayStation 1. That
Is this a sports game?
ooh. No one's gonna do sports games. You can't do that.
Do you know what?
Rich,
You wanted to
Rich,
play
Unless
is
it's
this
like a
some
specific
realistic
game.
Hot Shots
visuals?
Golf. Like,
yeah,
Realistic
that's true.
visuals? No. I wouldn't say
So it's
that.
not realistic, guys. It's either stylized or cartoony.
Crash Bandicoot? No. Wait,
you
could be
would
Crash
see-
Bandicoot.
It
That
could be
was
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
or
Wait,
Spyro
no,
the
bro,
Dragon.
gotta-
Spyro the Dragon,
Wait,
Crash
wait.
Bandicoot. They were
Sorry.
were sorry, go on.
Bro, Crash is Western developed, right? Santa Monica?
Naughty Dog, yeah, Naughty Dog, never mind.
It was not Crash.
And Vicarious Visions for Spyro was also in not Eastern developed.
We need Eastern developed Sony
Fuck.
first party.
Final Fantasy 7?
okay, so do you want to ask? Do
Yeah,
you
those
want
are
to get
my
down to a genre?
Yeah.
Genre would be nice.
Richard, was
Yeah.
this an RPG?
No, and I feel like I might have led you astray here. So I'm going to give you a freebie.
All right.
Just because something is on a platform and first party published does not mean it was first party published by that platform provider.
Oh,
Really?
I knew there was going to
Okay,
be.
let me
a
look into
caveat
it.
there.
Let
What
me
does
think
first
about
party
this.
publishing mean then?
It means that a company published a game for their system and then said, look at all these other systems, and then said, let's bring it to these systems.
So that just means it's not exclusive to,
Correct. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
but it could also that means it would be on that system though.
Correct, yeah. On their
So
own
my
system.
So-
mistake was not saying was it exclusive to
Yeah,
Sony.
we should be just asking exclusive in the future.
Yeah, if
That
you
was
would
kind
have
of,
secure it, you just start like, was it an
better
exclusive? No. Was it multi-platform? Yes, and then you would know, like, okay, even like, then you wouldn't ask the first party publisher.
All right. So now we're assuming that it's obviously on other platforms. Is this part of a series?
Yes.
Ooh.
Could be a fighting game, guys.
That's
Yes, it could
12
be.
questions.
Could be Street Fighter Alpha. Wait,
be-
no,
it
it
could be
couldn't.
fucking-
That's not a first party published game.
You know what? With the whole Grand Theft Auto, like Grand Theft Auto 3. I mean, like that. This is
PlayStation 2. This is PlayStation 1. Well,
Oh,
era
right.
at least. Era.
Again,
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
careful. It was made before the year 2000.
Yes.
initially.
Rolling my eyes at these caveats here.
Oh, look, when I tell you the name of the game, I will clearly illustrate for you how all of this is true.
You son of a bitch! Is it Willie Beamish for the Sega CD?
No, fucking Willie Beamish.
Hey, Rich.
You motherfucker.
You know, you might as well just throw that one out there. Is it, you want to ask if it's on a really old, like a Sega Saturn system? I mean, like, do you want to isolate that?
Well,
There were
we know
not
it's
many.
on more than one platform. We already know that.
And wait, didn't I ask if it was a Sony published game, and you said yes?
Yeah.
No, you said it's
Yeah.
on a Sony platform. I said yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember-
god damn it!
Yes.
Remember what he just
Yeah,
said?
yeah. So that's where we were.
Yeah.
So, Richard, do you play as a human in this game?
Yes.
So it's not realistic. You play as a human, a stylized human, or maybe a cartoony human. Not an RPG.
So wait a minute. What the fuck?
It's
If
a
it's not,
series.
so if
What's
it's
Sony human series? Could it be Resident Evil?
Have you written down the? Oh, you have written down. Here we go. Okay, cool.
Did Resident
somebody
Evil
wanna
come out
just
for other
ask-
consoles?
It's first party
Saturn.
published.
So that
It's
wasn't.
first party published on a Sony platform.
Yeah, the Sony published thing is fucking me up.
Yeah,
That's fucking me up bad.
Put
I'm
that
like,
out of your mind. Again,
but if it's
put it out of
first
your
party published, that means it was. That means it was
mind. Oh, look,
developed at the time.
am I supposed to be picking one iteration of this game for you to guess towards, or am I picking like there were, it
Well,
was
we don't know
released
if it's
multiple
first in a
times
series.
over a number of years for multiple platforms.
This could have been a series before it came out on PlayStation.
Well, going back to the last time, remember that we had, Killer Instinct across multiple generations
That's it,
of
exactly.
devices, right? This was the mistake I made by asking question 6 about, question 7 about first party publisher. Like, I really should have been more specific about exclusivity.
Yeah.
So you know what? If
Because,
for the sake
can-
of argument, I'm almost willing to say, it wasn't exclusive, right?
Yes,
Like,
I would say it was not.
We know
exclusive.
that.
Yes.
Well, can we just?
That's another freebie. Like, do you want
Okay.
me to pick one version of this and talk to that platform, or is it okay?
No,
to
not
talk about
necessarily.
the
Not
game?
necessarily.
I-
No, no.
And
no,
the way
no.
that we've been doing it, I thought was talk to the game.
no, because we're guessing by game,
Yeah.
not by platform.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's fine. It's just that that whole first party published things. Like what do we define as first party published? Like going forward, that to me that means published by a hardware maker.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
made
But-
by Nintendo. Made
Like
That is-
currently it would be Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft. Like those are literally the only 3 first party publishers.
Shouldn't we be saying first party developed in the future, guys? Because like first party published doesn't really give us any fucking help at all. It just means that they fronted the fucking
I
bill.
will
Like,
say
it
it would
doesn't-
be
No,
better to
I-
say
yeah, you're
is it
right.
exclusive, right? Because exclusivity is going to help things out a little bit. Is it though? Not really. Because think of
No,
the
it does
time
help.
here, right?
It
You
does
got
help.
you got a 5-year gap, and Sega produced, right? Because Sega was also a publisher, right? And they also published across other platforms. So not only were they a first party publisher, they also published other games on other platforms.
I just at this point in time, like Sega was all about themselves. They weren't doing shit for Sony.
That's
Like,
right.
If this were like post 2000, I'd be like, oh, it's fucking Sega. It's like a Sonic game.
But again, you guys have kind of painted yourselves into a weird fucking corner here because you've asked me if it was made before 2000. The answer is yes. Does that mean that just because it was made before 2000, it wasn't also released after 2000? No.
Well, we
that's
know
not
it
at all
was
what that
between
means.
Well, no.
95 and 2000.
So this specific game was this specific game made like between 95 and 2000.
Yeah.
The game
But
you're
it was
talking
made,
about.
we know.
Then,
not
yeah.
released.
Yes, the game I am talking about was made before 2000, and then
It's probably
after
not the first in the
2000, it was
series, Dan.
ported a bunch of
Like,
places.
let's.
Oh no,
assume
that's
it's
fine.
not.
That's fine then. That's fine. Yeah. So yeah, I don't care about the ports or remasters or whatever the hell. I don't care about any of that.
Okay, I've
So,
given
but
you enough freebies. You've got however many more, 6 more, I guess.
So I mean,
Yeah.
like we never. So we know it's part of a series, but we haven't really I ascertained if it was like the first in the series or not. But I mean,
Would
we
that
haven't
help
even
you?
nailed down the genre yet either.
I think genre would be more helpful.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay, so it's not an RPG. So what would have is you play as a human?
Is racing
Part-
game?
part of
Oh
the
yeah,
series.
you wouldn't race
Not
as a
race.
human, really.
Is this a fighting game?
Ooh, that era was ripe with fighting games too.
It was.
Yes, it was.
It was ripe with fighting games. What a violent era.
It was.
Not a fighting game. Not as an RPG.
Santino, fucking help us.
Sorry, I'm working. I didn't know you guys were podcasting today. I wasn't prepared for this.
I wasn't
mean,
prepared to
realistically,
answer
I mean,
questions.
it's not a sports game. It's not an RPG. It's not a fighting game. So it's a platformer. I mean, like, how
Ask
many
the
other?
question.
Fuck it. Was this game developed by Sega?
Yes.
There we go.
Well,
See, I knew it.
No,
I
don't
knew
say
it.
well. You can't say well. No.
Can't say well.
yeah, yes, it was developed by Sega.
Developed by Sega.
All right, that's fine. That's all I want to know. You don't. I'm not gonna ask for any other. Developed by Sega. That's all I want to know.
Well, dude, you should know, Dan. You're the fucking Sega fanboy. Like, help us out here, man.
So it's a Sega game that was on a Sony platform. Oh, it's probably one of the fucking. It had. Oh shit.
I'm mostly a Master System Sega
Well,
guy.
it's not a sports
Yeah, I was
game.
gonna
The
say,
only
we
thing
got-
I was gonna say was it might have been like World Series baseball or something.
Genesis,
But it's not a
Master
sports game,
System,
so-
Dreamcast.
Crazy.
Series with
Saturn.
humans. A Sega series with humans. Like, and it's not RPG. So not Fantasy Star.
But it also
So,
came out on a
Yeah.
Sony and on the PlayStation.
Yeah. So it would have to be a pretty good game to come out on all the other platforms, right? Like, for Sony to want to have it as well.
Okay, Richard, I'm just gonna bug you literally one more time, and then you can tell me to shut the fuck up from here on. Number 6, when I asked on a Sony platform, and you said yes. That is between 95 and 2000 I was referring to.
No.
Then the answer is no? Okay, that's fine, that's fine. That's literally it. You don't have to do anything else.
Okay.
So it was
Say it
not, it was
again.
not
Sorry.
really...
Yeah, say that
Oh, it got
again.
Fucking re-released?
It's-
Oh, that shit's so
No.
annoying.
So okay, so it was my bad for asking that because we've gone back a million times over this.
So what?
It
Dan,
was
could
not.
be
It was
beat 'em
not.
up?
It was
It's a
not
beat 'em up?
released on PlayStation 1, but it has been released on a Sony platform. So it's a Sega developed game
So-
that has been released on a Sony platform at some time.
Double Dragon. It could be Final Fight. It could
which is
be
fine. That's fine.
all of those beat 'em ups.
Double
So
Dragon?
next
No,
time
it's
you-
a Sega developed game. A Sega developed game. So there's
What's a
there's
Sega
way too many
beat 'em
now.
up, Dan?
There's like fucking.
So hold on. What
Beat 'em
we
up,
gotta
beat 'em
do
up,
is we gotta iron out. So the next time we ask is the initial release. The initial release, right?
Yeah.
Because then you isolate all of the
And
other
this-
versions.
and
It's
this
no
is
longer-
entirely on us.
Hey, did it ever come out on this console? Like,
And this is to Richard's
thanks, you
to
came out
Richard's
that
credit.
console.
To Richard's
great.
credit, he's literally answering our questions. Yes or no?
He's being very lenient.
Yes, he
Because
is.
we're stupid. But yeah.
Yeah, I've only had half a
wants to
beer
see men-
all night.
He wants to see us cry. You know, it's
Of
fine.
course,
I mean,
of course.
I do like when I win.
fuck's sake.
It is enjoyable for me, but
Developed by
I felt,
Sega.
I
It's not a
felt-
fighting
I
game.
felt like
it's
if
not
I
an
hadn't
RPG.
interjected, you guys would have been done by now.
Do we know if it's not a platformer, right? Did we
It could be like okay, so Sega franchises that have been released on Sony platforms. There's like a million.
No,
of
no.
them.
Platformer. I don't think we know if it's a platformer. I'm looking and I don't see it in the list.
Richard, is it a platformer?
Fuck.
So it's not.
Is it
It's
Willy
not.
Wonka?
Yeah, is this Willy
No.
Beamish? So it's not Sonic. It's not Sonic. Obviously, it's not.
Could this have been on Sega CD? Oh fuck! Could this be that cyberpunky game? The fucking one they did on how
Snatcher.
That,
Snatcher?
that they love. Could it be Snatcher?
No, because that's an
Could
RPG.
it
That's
be
an RPG.
Snatcher?
It's an
Did
It's
that come out on
technically.
PlayStation?
It's technically an RPG.
Maybe it's Back to the Future.
It's a point and click adventure game.
Yeah, but like people, fuck. I think people recognize Snatcher as an RPG. I could be wrong, but that like when
Yeah,
people think of
Johnny
Snatcher, they
wasn't-
think of
Konami,
that as an
was that
RPG.
really first party published? Probably not, right?
No, it's Konami as well. It was a fucking
Okay, well,
it was a
fuck.
goddamn What's his face? Crazy ass Kojima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First thing you find when you look it up is role playing game.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's
So
what
it's
I
not
mean.
bad.
I know what you mean, Mike. It is a fucking point and click adventure game, but it's like from the outside looking in, it's an RPG.
For the layman.
For the layman, the layman,
The Le Mans.
This could be a
the
strategy game.
Lamans, could be Shining Force, Fantasy Star. Fuck's sake, there's so many.
Those aren't RPGs, Dan.
They're definitely RPGs.
But strategy games not RPG. right?
RPG and strategy games, they're kind of interchangeable.
No, like RTS. Like that's a different game.
Yeah,
right?
real-time
Does Sega
strategy
do any
is
Yeah,
big
but
bigger
that's-
than
RTSs?
RPG for sure.
For
Yeah.
the sake of this stuff, I would almost say they're interchangeable. Like Richard would have been like, no, on the
What about
RPG
that
question.
What about
So
that
we've
one where
like-
you're like a dragon, basically, like flying?
Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
Panzer
that match any of the criteria? It's a disc-based game, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like an action adventure game. It's kind
Yeah,
of right there.
we haven't eliminated that yet.
No.
Are you a human
Oh.
riding the dragon?
Oh.
Yeah, yes, but you don't really. That's a
That's a
tricky one, 'cause
byproduct. You're
yeah.
really just a dragon. Your main character.
Yeah, let's face it.
plays-
You're a dragon in that game. I don't think anyone's like, "Oh, you get to fly around as a human." I'm like, "No, you don't. You fly around as a fucking dragon."
Well, the dragon's a mount, but whatever. Okay.
But
Mm.
Daytona USA, no.
sports
Sega
game.
Rally.
If in
Sports
any
game.
racing game,
Sports
you are
game.
a human, right? Because you're driving a car. so
Racing
you're a
games
human.
but
are
we-
racing games are sports games.
Oh fuck, you're right.
Be
Shit.
Alien Soldier.
Could be a puzzle game. What's a puzzle game where you're a human?
Puyo Puyo.
I can't.
like-
Intelligent Cube.
No,
Is
could
it
be-
a- Do we answer the question if it's first in a series or if it's in a series? Like we know that it's
I just
in
know
a
it's
series,
in a series.
We know it's in a
So-
series.
and you play as,
It could be fucking Golden Axe for all we know.
or like
Yeah, if it was
something
part
like
of the series, I said
Was
yes.
that originally Sega?
or like
part of a
X-Men
series,
Golden
yes.
Axe?
It's part of a series, Richard said yes. But that's fine. It's like, fuck. God damn it. Is this first in a series, Richard?
Yes.
First in a series. All right. Santino, can you tap into that vault of knowledge in your head? That vault of mid 90s to late 90s Sega first party video game knowledge? Where the fuck is Andy when we need him, god damn it?
NHL 94. No, that's his.
Andy's literally got every Sega game made on his wall between 95 and 2000. He could just look up at his wall and be like, oh, there it is.
But it's not a fighting game. It's not a sports game. It's not a platformer.
So
it's
what
not
else
an
does
RPG.
Sega have? Sega doesn't have anything else. This
What
this
is
era,
left?
Sega didn't make anything else. It's gonna be some weird fucking. It's gonna be fucking columns or something. Like no, it can't be columns. Shinobi. It's gonna be Shinobi or something.
No, that's a platformer.
Actually, no, you're right. Shinobi is a platformer.
Like there's Jurassic Park is in there.
Richard, this isn't a question per se,
Okay.
but would you classify a beat 'em up as a fighting game?
Yes.
You would? Okay, that's good. to know.
Yeah, probably.
No, that's fine.
It's
That's
gonna
fine.
be-
I just didn't know. If,
it's
I know
gonna be like
some people are like, eh.
Yeah, I
It's
would.
gonna be like a Crazy Taxi or something stupid. Because that doesn't.
You
That
play as a
doesn't fit
human,
the
yes.
genre
You
of
definitely
sport.
play as a human in Crazy Taxi. Realistic visuals, no. Crazy Taxi did have realistic visuals, I'd say. It wasn't like
had,
it wasn't
Grand Theft Auto
cartoonish.
kind of graphics.
Yeah, so I would say Crazy Taxi had realistic visuals. It wasn't like crazy fucking like perspective on things and weird shapes. It was like you drove around a fucking real taxi in that game and picked people up. It wasn't
Yeah.
like goofy shit, you know?
I think it's stylized, but
Well, didn't
Yeah, it's
there was a
stylized
Spider-Man that
maybe,
came
but it's
out on-
realistic.
Spider-Man, you play as humans, right?
oh, could it be a
It's-
Simpsons kind of game?
No.
Be a Batman.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah,
This is
two
a
more
Sega.
questions.
This is a first. This is a.
And then again,
This is a This is
two
the.
more-
Okay, so this is a Sega.
Questions. and
Sega
then I guess-
developed game first in the franchise, which had multiple games, at least two or more. which were so popular they ended up coming out on a Sony platform at one point. That came out between 95 and 2000.
Play as a human.
And you play as a human. What the fuck? What the fuck? God,
Well, you know what? When you put it, when you think of Crazy Taxi, you're not really playing as a person. You're playing as a car.
You never see your driver?
yeah, you do.
Platformer, no.
Then
You
you're a
always
person,
see the
dude.
driver.
Always.
Yeah, Nick, that's a hard one because you select your driver like in the character
True,
screen. It's like,
true.
I
You're
want to be
playing as a
this
human,
person. I want to be this person or whatever. Yeah.
I would
'Cause
say
I was
that's not
thinking of, like,
realistic.
I know what you mean,
Style.
though. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I think Crazy Taxi still works. Did that come out on a Sony platform?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Richard, did you drive in this game at all?
Yes,
Oh,
you
for
did drive in this game.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You gonna ask if there's taxis in this game then?
Richard, are there taxis in this game?
No,
Yeah,
no,
there are a lot
yeah.
of
Oh,
fucking taxis in this
goddamn it.
goddamn game.
Was it Crazy Taxi, Richard?
Yeah, it's Crazy Taxi.
God damn it.
I
So
would
what,
highly argue
Dreamcast?
that
Dreamcast
this
the
is
first
not
system?
realistic visuals.
No,
Yeah, I
stylized.
wouldn't
It's
have agreed
hyper
with the
stylized.
realistic-
You're
Yeah.
jumping out of things, and you're like,
I know
Yeah.
it's stylized.
What do you mean? That's not how you drive? I drive like that all the time.
Well, I mean, depends if I'm driving with kids or without kids. but-
Yeah,
And that
exactly.
was a hard one because Crazy Taxi came across so many platforms. It
That's
was
what I'm
originally
It
produced.
still comes
Was
across
it
platforms
Dreamcast
today.
originally?
So it
There was a version
arcade.
for everything.
It was arcade.
Arcade.
originally.
That originally it was
Oh,
the arcade, yeah.
Then Dreamcast. And then they were just like, well, this shit's going everywhere. And then off it went.
Yeah, yeah.
But that
Crap.
all happened, like, you guys picked 2000. I was just like, oh, fuck. Yeah, technically it was made before 2000 because it released in 99 in the arcades.
Good choice.
No, that was good. That was good. That was good.
Goodbye, man.
I
Goodbye.
mean, it took all
And
20
we're
minutes.
we're idiots for fucking asking stupid questions.
We gotta get better at our first party shit, like those questions.
That
Yeah,
one
that hurts us a little bit.
was a tough. That was just a tough one for this particular game, right? Like,
And you know what? I never want to ask. Was it ever an arcade game? Because I mean, then you really isolate it down because there's only so many out there that have actually been produced.
Well, that's one of the problems with yeah. But you could also ask like, was maybe not, but like, was this a Virtual Boy game? Was this a 3DO game? Was this a Jaguar game? I'm like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
you're painting yourself in even worse of a corner then.
yeah.
At least with the arcade, there was a shitload of arcade
I
games.
thought you guys were gonna ask about music and stuff. I would have been like, yeah.
Offspring,
okay, now
baby!
we're
Here we
licensed
go!
movies.
Yeah.
So here's the funny thing: the minute you say, "Is it an arcade game by Sega?" then you go, "Well, is it Moonwalker? Is
Fuck,
it
you know what?
Crazy
Good
Taxi?"
point. Yeah, no,
Daytona.
after number 15, developed by Sega, it should have been like, boom, was this an arcade game? That should have been the next
Yeah,
That
question.
would have been a good.
Fuck. Oh,
Could have
that
had
would,
it two
that-
questions earlier.
yeah, 2 whole questions earlier.
Oh,
I just had to
Oh.
feel it out. I couldn't be wrong on this one.
That
Just so
was
we're
good,
gonna, just so we're clear on this, I'm still counting this as a win for me because I basically had to
Yeah,
handhold
it's
you
fine,
through this
whatever. Yeah,
on
shut
question
up.
12, like forward. So,
So don't at Richard then.
Yeah.
don't at me, bro.
So thank you for watching, everybody that's actually watching right
Thanks.
now.
It's a
This
good
will be
Friday.
this will be on YouTube, Twitch, whatever you call it, VODs.
All over the place.
I don't know, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that kind of shit. So,
Mhm.
TikTok.
yeah, it'll be on TikTok. It'll be on Wolf. If you get Wolf, I'll fax it to you. See you later.
Lunch Club